Good night and welcome to Benalmádena's first English news broadcast. Digital Costa del Sol brings you every Friday all the information about this week's news. After several months closed due to the situation of confinement caused by the sanitary emergency, City Hall has again opened its doors to serve the public with a new appointment system.
Benalmádena's City Council resumed on Monday part of its normal activity with the reopening of its facilities to the public. General Administration Councilman Sergio Torralbo announced last week that starting Monday, June the 1st, face-to-face attention was active in the citizen service offices of City Hall from 9 to 1:30 p.m. on Monday to Friday. This service will be offered both in the offices on the ground floor of the Benalmádena City Council and in the new citizen service office located on the ground floor of the Social Welfare Building, which opened for the first time to the public last Monday.
Volvemos a recuperar la normalidad, pero ya no solo en las
We are back to normality, but not only with our public appearances, but also with the opening of Town Hall since Monday. The Town Hall is open for face-to-face appointments. Also the Treasury, and we opened a new citizen service office in Arroyo de la Miel, in the Social Affairs Building. Citizens can call the telephones and able to reserve their appointment in order to develop any type of face-to-face meeting.
Su cita previa para desarrollar cualquier tipo de gestión presencial.
The opening of the Citizen Attention Office in Arroyo de la Miel is an initiative from the government team to bring the local administration even closer to the neighbors. The face-to-face meeting will only be made to those who have requested an appointment. The phones enabled to request appointments have been active since last Friday, May 29th, from 9 to 1:30 p.m. No appointment will be made through a face-to-face visit to the facilities. An appointment will only be made by calling the aforementioned phone numbers. Due to the current pandemic situation, in this initial phase, the citizen attention offices will not be able to attend to 100% of their capacity yet, due to the hygiene, health and safety measures that must be maintained as prevention against the risk of new infections of COVID-19. And for this reason, we ask the citizens for understanding and collaboration, said Torralbo. People who attend these appointments must necessarily come with masks, and they are requested to come with their own writing supplies. In the same way, they are requested to come alone, not bringing a companion unless it's absolutely necessary. In addition, they encourage citizens to obtain their electronic certificate in order to carry out the procedures to the Benalmádena City Council's electronic headquarters, where a large number of procedures can be carried out without the need for face-to-face travel.
Benalmádena City Council celebrated the 5th meeting of the Technical Political Table for the Day After Plan, reaching new agreements such as reopening parks, a progressive return to work of the municipal employees, or modifying mobility, amongst other measures.
On Wednesday, the 5th meeting of the Political and Technical Working Table for the elaboration and application of the plan of the day after was held. Benalmádena's mayor and PSOE spokesman at the table, Victor Navas, thanked the constructive spirit of all the political forces at the table, leaving behind the belligerent tone of the first meetings. Among the issues debated, it was agreed to open all public parks in the municipality, such as La Paloma or Veracruz, although the kids' playgrounds will remain closed due to the hygiene and sanitary conditions cannot yet be guaranteed for their safe use.
Bueno, contento y satisfecho por la reunión que mantuvimos.
Happy and satisfied by the meeting that we had all the political forces represented in the Pact for the Reconstruction of Benalmádena. It is the 5th table at which we sit, and the truth is that we have come a long way in measures for the de-escalation in Benalmádena, both with the opening of the parks, the new mobility management, deciding when the sports facility will be opening, and what kind of aid do we have to put on the table for the different collectives according to their needs.
La Paloma Park will open from 10 in the morning to 10 at night as a walking area, not being able to access the lawn yet. The park will only be accessible through the glass door of the García Lorca Avenue to facilitate the control of the capacity, watched by 2 security guards who will also ensure the mandatory compliance with the social distance measure. In addition, in the next few days, the sports courts located on the different neighborhoods will also be open. Other topics discussed at the meeting were the progressive reincorporation of municipal workers to their position in the City Council. Although teleworking will continue in those areas that are possible, the start day of the beach season established for June 10th and keeping closed the various markets until Phase 3. Changes on the mobility have been agreed at the meeting of the municipality, reducing the cut of traffic in the Antonio Machado Avenue. At this table, we continue to discuss all the issues that affect Benalmádena, taking measures aimed at improving the living conditions of citizens and reinforcing security, said the Councilwoman for Citizen Participation and Izquierda Unida spokesperson Elena Galán. Various merchants and residents had told us that a wide reduction of lanes on Antonio Machado Avenue was no longer necessary, so it was important to facilitate the flow of road traffic due to its increase, commented the councilman and PP spokesman Juan Antonio Lara. The municipal group of citizens is very satisfied with this meeting. We are advancing with a firm step in establishing the measures that our neighborhoods need, said Ciudadanos councilman and spokesman Juan Antonio Vargas, highlighting the good atmosphere of the meeting.
Benalmádena has a deficit on educational places, both in primary and secondary education, so City Council will claim Junta de Andalucía specific deadlines for the construction of the new institute, thanks to a motion of the government team approved last week on May's plenary session.
The government team presented on last plenary session a motion about the situation of Benalmádena's educational centers and the need for a commitment from Junta de Andalucía to the construction of new ones.
Yo creo que de todos es conocida.
I believe that everyone knows the need that Benalmádena has for an institute and a new center for infant and primary education. It is true that many steps have been taken, but with this situation of COVID-19, everything has been paralyzed. In fear that the course begins again in September and this government team is not aware of anything with certainty, this motion was made especially so that the City Council has first-hand information from the Andalusian government.
Education Councilwoman Elena Galán highlighted that the situation of the educational system in Benalmádena is going through a critical moment. Overcrowded classrooms in both primary and secondary education, the installation of prefabricated classrooms that seems to increase every year, and the elimination of common spaces are some examples that come to question the quality of public education in the municipality. The data is undisputable. In primary education, this course has had 215 units with an average ratio of 26.75 students per class, and we already know that there will be 216 next year. In secondary discourse, there were 95 groups, and for the next they will have 6 more, reaching 101. Taking into account that there are already prefabricated in El Cerro del Viento High School, a disastrous situation is feared for the course that comes. In addition, there is concern about the removal of common spaces to house classrooms, especially the elimination of libraries with the intention of replacing them with classes. An educational center without a library is a drama for knowledge in general and for the promotion of reading habits, said the Councillor for Education. The local reader of Ciudadanos, Juan Antonio Vargas, was the only councilman who participated in the debate, recognizing the need and announcing his support, but saying that it doesn't seem the right time to pass it. The mayor, Victor Navas, explained later in a press release that the meeting held with the new delegate for education of the Andalusian government gave us hope that the situation was unsustainable, would change, but the weeks passed and we did not find concrete facts that accompany good intentions. After having a meeting with technicians from the education area of the board, all the alarms have gone off. Not only do we know now when the works of the institute will begin, but they also do not transfer us if the site offered by the City Council for the School of Primary School they consider is appropriate, the mayor has warned. The motion includes an agreement to demand transparency, clarity and speed from the Andalusian government when preparing the necessary technical reports to determine the place where the new primary school will be located. The motion also requires the Junta to commit to specific deadlines for the construction of the new institute.
The Cudeca Foundation is preparing to reopen its charity stores, but many volunteers are from vulnerable groups, and due to the pandemic they will not be able to contribute as so far, so the foundation is looking for new collaborators.
Benalmádena's City Hall plenary session approved last week a motion to declare of general interest the construction of Cudeca Foundation Research Study Center. By virtue of the plenary agreement, this project is declared of special interest or municipal public utility, which will mean a 95% bonus of the ICIO tax. This Center for Studies and Research will complement the work carried out by the Foundation, training professionals in palliative care and thus spreading the philosophy and technical knowledge in this area of health, explained Benalmádena's Mayor Víctor Navas. In addition, this work will create employment and wealth in the municipality as well as its subsequent management, and the center will receive students from the rest of Spain and the world who will need accommodation, maintenance, so the general benefit of the project to the locality is undoubted, the mayor has pointed out. The Center for Studies and Research will train healthcare professionals, doctors, nurses, clinical assistants, psychologists, social workers in the field of palliative care. These professionals will then be able to improve the care of the patients and their families in the final phase of the disease. In addition, Cudeca Hospice is making a call for volunteers. After more than 2 months of closure due to the COVID-19 pandemic, Cudeca reopens its charity stores thanks to the collaboration of the community, but many volunteers, being vulnerable groups, will not be able to continue contributing as they did until now. Each store needs between 20 to 30 volunteers who contribute 3 or 4 hours a week, morning or afternoon, to receive donations, classify them, attend to customers, sell items, decorate the store, and spread Cudeca's assistance work. The Cudeca Foundation offers specialized care to people with cancer and other illnesses in advanced stage without possibility, and support to families completely free of charge, as well as the training of professionals in the field of palliative care. The number of patients seen in the municipality of Benalmádena is very important, and their work has been going on for more than 25 years.
Beaches and malls reopened on Malaga with Phase 2 that started last Monday, allowing people to take baths at the beach, organize gatherings for up to 15 persons, and ending the exercising restrictions.
Malaga woke up on Monday on a new phase in the government's plan to ease coronavirus restrictions. Malaga and Granada have now caught up with the other Andalusian provinces, which had already been in Phase 2 for a week. Restrictions have now been relaxed in a number of areas. Beaches on the Costa del Sol have reopened to bathers, and the first sun umbrellas and towels appeared on the sand. There was plenty of room on Monday morning to allow social distancing, although more beach users were expected as the day progressed. Town councils have announced measures like mobile apps and local police patrols to help enforce the government's rule of 2 meters between bathers. Other restrictions in Phase 2 involve the use of the interior of bars and restaurants. Until now, only establishments with terraces have been allowed to open, but since Monday, bars can serve tables inside with a reduced capacity to allow social distancing. This meant that many bars and cafeterias preferred to wait until Phase 2 to open for the first time since the start of the COVID-19 crisis. Shopping centers have also been allowed to reopen this week. Other common sitting areas and children's play facilities are still out of use. Phase 2 also means that exercising restrictions have been relaxed. there are no more time slots to respect except for the times reserved for the over 70s, which remain at 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. and 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. Families and individuals can now go out for walks with no limitations of 1 hour a day and 1 kilometer for their homes. Other changes allow cemeteries to open to the public, and gatherings can now be organized for up to 15 people. Other restrictions already in force in Phase 1 remain in place. Movement is still restricted to within the province, and transport in vehicles is permitted with mask and 2 people per row of seats if not all members of the same household. The use of face masks is still compulsory in enclosed areas and where a minimum distance of 2 meters cannot be guaranteed.
And these are today's headlines. City Council reopens to the public. New agreements of the technical political table. Benalmádena claims the construction of new educational centers. Cudeca calls for new volunteers. Málaga enters Phase 2. The weather forecast for the weekend will leave us with skies slightly cloudy or clear, with intervals of high clouds during the first half of the day. Minimum temperatures in a slight decrease in the Antequera region, without changes in the rest. High on the rise, and west component winds. And that's all. Thank you for watching us, and remember, you can stay updated on our website or social media profiles on Facebook and Twitter. Have a good night, enjoy the weekend, and remember, stay at home.